Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
Pat, you're aware we got another gender reveal problem here.
Joe, this is not just people having fun, right?
These are idiots.
Too evil. No, this is domestic terrorism.
It is.
This should be classified as domestic terrorism and be investigated by Homeland Security.
They burned down 7,000 acres.
Acres of California wilderness, which, by the way, has been a little bit of a tinderbox lately. If they might have noticed this, that perhaps they shouldn't be blowing up explosive devices to reveal whether it's a boy or a girl.
I can't stand it.
I love the headline I saw yesterday. Family, gender revealed family might owe millions.
Right. I hope they do.
So if you're of the brain power to use an explosive device to reveal whether it's a boy or a girl, what do you think the odds are that you got a bank account that will allow you to come up with several million to make up for the destruction that you have caused?
Yeah, 7,000 acres. Write me a check.
But it is now obvious to the nation that more acreage has been burned in the name of gender reveal than in the name of domestic, of violence in the cities, right? Since all this started in May, early June, we haven't burned down nearly this much acreage in the cities of America, I don't think.
So I had to look up and I found an article. The 7 times gender reveal parties went horribly wrong.
Okay. Well, this one didn't kill Grandma, though.
Does this one include? Is this updated with this one?
This one was from 2019.
Oh, really? So we've had a year.
Didn't we destroy most of Arizona with one of them?
Yeah, number one on here is the poor woman in Iowa that was killed.
We got Grandma there with the pipe bomb.
Like 52 years ago, it's a pipe bomb.
Leaping pipe bomb.
Number 7 is the 47,000-acre wildfire in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay. All right. When was that?
That was back in April of 2017.
Wow.
That was number 7.
So that is early in the gender reveal era, right?
Might have been. They weren't. Yeah, they might have not had enough evidence. Yeah.
Yes.
Number 6 was from June of 2018, in which a Jersey man broke his ankle attempting to kick a football. In a gender reveal
it was gonna pop open.
Right. It was gonna show blue or pink or whatever when he kicked the football.
Well, a football, even a rubber cheap football, isn't gonna explode because you kicked it, is it? Yeah.
Well, maybe it's one of those Nerf soft ones where you could have cut it open.
But he broke his ankle.
But he broke his ankle.
Did it work? Did the thing blow up and reveal the baby? Or not?
It says that it did explode with pink powder, but his name was Charlie Ojeda. He went down hard, grabbing his ankle and screaming. It's a girl! Number 5 is from the city of Philadelphia in July of 2018, in which a couple shot fireworks into the faces of friends and family. Pink fireworks, by the way.
Okay. Do you see pink or blue?
We used to shoot those rockets off at each other. The little.
They go.
I can add more.
Okay.
I can add more. Gina Carvanudis is credited with the inventor of the gender reveal party. For her, though, it was through a cake. We had a knife and we cut it all together, and we all saw the pink icing at the same time, Carvanutis said. That was in 2008, before
Really?
Instagram or Pinterest even existed. Carvanutis says she likes cakes and wanted to celebrate her pregnancy with her family. I like to throw parties, she said. She's calling now for this to end because it's gotten out of hand. Today she sees the video that inadvertently started a wildfire that burned 40,000 out. And then there was one with a pet alligator that started to eat somebody.
Yeah, the alligator one, is that on your list there, Reavers?
No, but the last
alligator
one I wanted to get to, because other ones were, fire and acreage and stuff
Right.
like that. But this one's my personal favorite. This was number 2 on this list, and this was from October of 2018. A gender reveal party at an Applebee's in Boardman, Ohio, turned violent when a manager asked the party to clean up after themselves. A manager told police a party of 25 planned to reveal the gender of the baby by shooting off pink and blue confetti poppers inside the restaurant. They were asked to move the celebration outside as to not disrupt other customers. They obliged, but when the manager asked them to clean up their mess, fists started flying.
So alcohol might have been involved
I'm gonna
in the
guess.
gender. Well, the alligator one, Joe, last time we discussed this,
Here, I
3
got it
weeks
right here.
ago, you had the alligator one, and I still couldn't figure out what that was supposed to accomplish.
Gender reveal parties are a modern trend where expectant parents tell family and friends their baby's biological sex, often in creative ways involving pink and blue colors. However, the Klebert family's unique gender reveal video involving the family's pet alligator and a watermelon has provoked worries online over safety and animal protection. In a Facebook video, which has been viewed 7 million times, Mike Klebert, who runs an alligator farm, is seen placing a watermelon into the mouth of Sally, a family pet, in a crowd of people. When the animal snaps its jaws shut, the watermelon explodes to reveal blue jelly, signifying the baby will be a boy. The assembled group reacts with cheers of delight, and after the video went viral, many thousands of people congratulated the family on social media, and then, of course, the animal rights people thought it was hideous and cruel.
Okay.
Didn't eat anybody, I guess.
But the alligator did not try to chomp anybody's foot off.
Well, at this
Too
point in the
close.
video, Klebert presses down on the creature's head to stop it from moving towards a child. The alligator Sally was heading for a kid.
And we still have the one from last year where the guy, the fan of who? The Titans? Who was he a fan of? I
can't remember.
Football, but he's in a football jersey. And remember, he throws the, like, 1.5-year-old, he throws down on a plank that's going to trigger something to
yeah.
go up in the air. But this baby's like a year and a half, and he throws him on his face.
I found another one in April of 2018. A car whose exhaust had been rigged to spew blue smoke
Oh, yes.
caught fire as
Yep.
it did donuts in front of an expectant Australian couple. The driver bailed and the spectators fled in the incident that was caught on drone video.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I got it. Before I forget,
It's a boy.
I got to tell you this story. Joe Driscoll is my favorite all-time town ball baseball player. He was originally from Le Sueur, still lives in Le Sueur. He's a house painter, and has played in various
It
locations.
has to be Le Sueur. It can't be Le Sueur.
Let's sir.
Le Sueur. French. I was trying to make it French.
Well, Joe, that's
Right
just
now.
north of New Ulm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
New Ulm.
Well, Joe, and he's played at various locales. And he's the guy, I told you this story, that about 2017, I'm the only guy in the press box in Fort Myers on March 17th because the Twins aren't playing a home game. And I'm doing the radio show, and I look down and see I get a call from Joe Driscoll, and I answer it. And I said, I figure maybe he's in town playing senior baseball or something because he does that. And he said, Ricey. I said, yeah, Joe, are you here? And he said, no. He says, Obie and I, his buddy O'Brien, and I are driving around the gravel roads drinking beer, just like high schoolers, even though they're in their 50s at the time. And he said, we just drove to Kilkenny, a little town out
Just
there.
west of Faribault.
And Murphy's Bar, to go to Murphy's Bar on St. Patrick's Day in Kilkenny, and it's closed. And he said, Murphy's Bar, Kilkenny, closed on St. Patrick's Day. What are you going to do about it? And I said, Joe, I'm as outraged as you, but I'm 1,750 miles away, so I don't know what the hell I'm going to do about it. But so...
What are you going to do about it?
So I went to the game Saturday in Shakopee for the Class B tournament because Joe, who had a stroke a year ago, is coming back, and he drove himself to the game, and he was going to be there. And I wanted to see him. I hadn't seen him. And we're sitting there down the right field line, properly socially distanced, of course, as the baseball games. And there was his presence caused 5 or 6 old town ballers to assemble down there and start telling Driscoll stories, of which there are numerous, most of them involving alcohol. But
99%.
A great guy, a great athlete, by the way, at Le Sueur High School. And then Southwest State, he played 3 sports until those dang old academics got in the way, and I think he had a 1-year career. But anyway, they're telling me this story. Joe's got an old Grand Torino.
Yep.
And it's in kind of bad shape. It's in the late 90s. And he's playing at Red Wing then, right? He drives over to nearby Meesville, and he's at King's. He's going to have breakfast at King's, this place right on Main Street. And he's just having a cup of coffee and, a couple of eggs, and some people come in and say, "Hey, there's this car out in the street just going around in circles." It's just going around that highway there, going around and around in circles. And Joe looks out and he says, "That's mine." So apparently this Torino was in such bad shape that he had a screwdriver for the stick shift. He had put a screwdriver in as the stick shift, and he had some clothes or luggage or something in the car, and by its own inertia, while he was in there, it managed to. He'd left the car running. I said, "Why'd you leave the car running?"
It's not
And
going to start.
He said, "Well, I wasn't going to be in there that long, and I didn't want to have to start it." So on its own inertia, this thing, something tips over, hits the screwdriver, knocks it into drive or neutral or whatever it is, and the thing starts. Luckily for him, he's got the wheel turn, and it's going around in circles on the main street of Meesville, but his driver's side door doesn't open. He's got to go in the side, and the legend is he's chasing the car around the street, trying to get into the door so he can crawl over.
Oh my God!
And he sits there and he listens to all this, and everybody's making fun of him and telling the story, and he
didn't deny any of it.
He said, "That happened." And I said, "Well, why in the hell? How did it start?" He says, "Well, I left it running." I said, he's a beauty. He's the guy that when he turned 50, he was going to play his last games in town ball for Le Sueur, and I went down and wrote a column on him, and I looked it up, and this sainted gal that lived with him for years, finally married him. And it was one of his buddies that said, I said, "So why'd you finally decide to marry him?" And some guy, one buddy of his behind me, said, "We charge wives $1 for beer, and we charge girlfriends $1.50. She wanted to save the 50 cents. That's why she married him." But he's one of the best players in the history of town team baseball, and still a character. And
you know why
it was
I love
nice
him?
to see him.
You know why I love him, don't you?
Why?
So, Joe, we were the Faribault.
I spent my whole life, Pat, trying to keep Reavers from telling town ball baseball.
Yes,
Right.
right.
2014, the Faribault Lakers are making their first appearance in the state tournament since, I believe, 1990. Royce and Judd make the trip down to watch us play, and we were down 8-0 to the Green Isle Irish. And Royce goes, "Well, I think we're going to head out." Driscoll looked at him and said, "There's a lot of ball games left."
Yes, right.
And we came back and won 9-8.
Lakers came back and won, and Joe said, Joe called me and told me, I hope you're embarrassed here. You took off. So anyway, Anyway, I got to see Driscoll Saturday at Shakopee, and they got the state baseball tournament played. So congratulations! After all the drama of earlier this summer.
And you're right. There's never any better bull slinging sessions than there are at town ball games.
That's right.
Pat, how come the Twins have a doubleheader today followed by 2 days off?
I can explain this.
All right.
The Cardinals, missed what? 10 days of games because of many positive virus tests, maybe 2 weeks. So they're trying to play the 60-game schedule. And as they looked ahead, the Cardinals had a long stretch of games without a day off. So they called the Twins. And including Thursday, they were scheduled to play Thursday. They're scheduled to play 2 games against the Twins and then keep playing Thursday. And they called the Twins, and I guess they got Major League Baseball's approval and said, how about playing a doubleheader on Tuesday, 2 7-inning games, so we can have a day off on Wednesday. And with no fans, there was no problem there, and the Twins went along with it. So that's why they're playing 2 today, and then they get 2 days off. So.
Okay.
I don't know. What's the weather forecast in St. Louis? Are we going to have sunshine and play 2 and get
St.
going?
Louis?
They're starting at the mid-afternoon here today. So
At 2:15.
Joe, there was a game after your own heart here when the Twins played the doubleheader on Friday.
145.
145, the first game. I was complaining I didn't get my money's worth.
No, it was amazing.
Let's go. Couldn't even. If they were selling beer, they wouldn't even got to the second round
If they had
yet.
played 9, though, would it have been about 2:15? What do you think?
Don't know.
Is Romo's beard one of those fake costume beards?
No, it does look like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, like he got it at a magic store.
I believe he has no intention of doing anything with it during this pandemic-caused season because he last year had a modest, scraggly one, right?
Yeah.
But this thing, he hasn't cut it and
Boy,
has no intention to. It really does look dangerous, doesn't he?
It really does.
Without fans, you catch a lot of what he's saying in the ball field as well.
Yeah.
Romo, he likes to trash talk a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
What time are the Twins playing?
But if you, I think
2:10.
If you were in. If you were in Columbia in the 1970s, though, and saw this fellow walking down the street, you might go over and walk down the other side of the street, don't you think?
Right.
Yeah,
You're thinking cartel.
You think he might have been there for a task? I don't know.
Yes, and a nefarious one at that.
Yes, that's right. He is a character. There's no doubt about that. But
how good is Pineda after the comeback?
he looks pretty good. You know what? And I think he kept up his nourishment too.
He's not light.
Doesn't look like he's 6'8", Joe. He's got to be 330, doesn't he?
Oh my word!
He's huge.
I still love
He's the
that.
biggest man I've ever seen in baseball.
Brian Windhorst needs nourishment.
Yeah, Brian was the.
He's on the set when wasn't that the LeBron saga?
Yeah, and he was losing weight. It didn't look good.
90 degrees and thunderstorms likely in St. Louis.
I got a Dustin Johnson tirade.
Oh man,
It's a brief one.
Okay.
one. He's a great player,
Oh God,
but he's no fun. He's no fun.
God, his
he's
post-game,
just no fun.
His post-game interview was the worst, wasn't it?
my God.
Just at least bring Paulina over with you for us.
Well,
so
we did
can
get a
watch.
glimpse of Paulina.
Paulina is doing well.
Yeah, she's
The
fine.
babies have not.
No, she's fine.
I got a hunch she's
Right back to
I
the
got a
yoga.
hunch when she had the baby, she got the nanny to do all the work, and she started working on getting that weight off.
Getting in shape again.
Because she did fine. But
he's no fun. He
he's
doesn't make
stupid.
mistakes. Yeah.
He's dumb. But
Yeah.
he's imaginative as hell on the golf course.
Yep.
How about one of the it's a podcast. One of the ballsiest
There we go.
putts I have ever seen was that par putt on 13. Mm-hmm. That's 8 feet past if he doesn't make it.
Yep. And he had to make it.
He was going to have been one ahead.
Right,
He was, and all of a sudden he said, I got to take the brake out of this thing, else I can't make it. And he hit a rocket and
Yep.
went boing. And I said, wow,
Those were the
deserved-
par putts Tiger used to make.
Yeah.
I'm showing Rookie the still shot of Paulina congratulating Dustin on the golf course
I
yesterday.
would win every time.
Is that
Every week if I was him.
is that
if I was him, I'd win every week.
She was wearing a white garment,
Yes,
right?
yes, she was, Pat.
Yeah, she's an attractive girl. There's no doubt about it. And you know what? I bet it's fun to be married to him. Because
Why?
he's not going to argue with you because he's
No.
got nothing to
Oh,
say.
she's running the show.
Oh,
I
God,
got
yes.
you.
Oh, God,
She's
yeah,
got
got
running
nothing
the
to
show.
say.
Yeah, whatever. You know, he brings home a check for $15 million.
So you're saying-
and he doesn't care what you do with
So
it.
you're saying the game of flaws at the Johnson Gretzky household is very short. It's a very
Yeah,
short
there's
game.
no flaws. She's married to the best golfer in the world, and he never gives her any lip.
Is the U.S. Open this weekend?
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Wingfoot. He's never played Wingfoot. He's going. Did you hear him say that? He's going
Yeah.
there for a practice round on Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
Man, his hand. He's hitting his wedges, so he doesn't have to hit them very far, obviously. And he's got some imagination. And having his brother reading putts with him has really helped him too, man.
Mm-hmm. 15 mil. Get
That's
to
a
keep
lot of
7.
money.
15
Get to
mil.
keep 7.5.
And the guy could barely break 80 at TPC Twin City.
TPC really threw him,
Yeah,
didn't
he
it?
threw him.
Wow.
78.
Brought him to his
That's
knees.
what he said.
78. I got a bad back. I can't handle this beast
See you
anymore.
later.
And lo and behold, since then, I think he's been in the 60s for all but 2 rounds or something. How much money has he won since the TPC Twin Cities? First, second, first, right? First, second, first. I don't know how many. He was second
I'll
at the
look it up.
he was second at the PGA, right?
Yep.
I think so. And he won.
What major has he won? A PGA?
He's the only one, yeah, right?
I think it's a PGA.
Yeah. He's. I got news for Brooks Koepka though. He might have 3 majors and Johnson might have 1, but they're not on the same planet as players. He's just unbelievable right
Think
now.
who didn't make that top 30? Spieth didn't make it.
No,
Brooks Koepka didn't make it. Gary Woodland didn't make it.
Tiger Woods didn't.
Tiger
make it.
Woods didn't make it. And where are the foreigners like Martin Kamer and Sergio?
That Hovland made it, and
Yeah.
you know who's just a good player now though? Rory.
Yeah.
Rory shoots. I mean, he can't. You got to make putts. He doesn't. There's like one round a tournament. He makes putts and shoots 65, and the rest of the time he shoots 70. You know.
Well, the excuse they were giving him this weekend is he just had a kid.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, he left at home,
Did they,
wherever home is. I don't know if he lives in Ireland or Florida. I think he
What,
lives in Florida.
Here's the 2 kids' names: Tatum Gretzky Johnson and River Jones Johnson.
Foghorn at Rook. Yeah.
River.
River. I don't
Pauline-
know.
You know what he said?
You got a boy, or are they both girls? What do we got?
I think it's 2 boys. 'Cause
Tatum and River.
That's what I saw in the
Oh,
article.
2 sons. Yeah, 2 sons.
How can you be Wayne Gretzky's daughter and not name one of your kids Wayne?
That's right.
You know?
Because you know what? Because Paulina didn't want it that way.
Well, Paulina.
I
Well,
want to name
And
a child
Dustin
River.
didn't argue.
He said
Yes.
yes. I do too.
how old's he now? 35.
Well, I don't think he's that old.
36. He
36.
just
Oh,
turned
my
36.
God. Really?
Man, he's.
You think Palm Beach Gardens, Florida is a good place to live?
Yes.
Here's what I found as far as earnings. Dustin Johnson's last 4 starts: PGA Championship tied for 2nd, Northern Trust 11th, BMW Championship 2, and Tour Championship FedEx Cup 1. Combined earnings was $18.7 million.
Now, he won the Northern Trust. You said 11th?
Oh, I'm sorry. By 11, yes. Yeah,
He won by 11.
Won
Yeah.
by 11. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
There is a difference between finishing 11th.
He was 30
Winning by
under.
11.
He was 30 under.
He was 30 under, and the next week he was 4 under, and he said he played just as well. This is a long stretch of wonderful play, though, for a guy.
But what if Paulina, they decide to have another one, and she says, I want to have a gender reveal party?
Yes, dear. What kind of Roman candle would you like me to grab? And keep Grandma away.
I wouldn't trust him to do it.
No, it is amazing. I don't think he's being dull on purpose, right?
No, I don't
I
either.
think he's just dull.
Oh, he's just dull.
And how about the fact that the guy says, I talked to Wayne Gretzky, and Wayne said to me, this is now he says this like on the 15th hole or something. the guy who does the interviews, said, I talked to Wayne, and Wayne said, this is the first time he's ever told me I have to win this week. Right?
I heard that.
He said that. So now the guy's interview is, your father-in-law, Wayne, said, for the first time you told him, I have to win this week.
Oh, I heard this, yeah.
And he said, well, I didn't really say that.
No, I
didn't
said
say
I'd like
have
to win.
I'd like to win. I said I'd like to win. And the guy said, yeah, you pretty much say I like to win every week. The point is, you felt the pressure to win for he never asked him that because he.
Right.
But the guy's whole big scoop question goes boop because this guy, he's it's amazing. I mean, as my friend Lennox said about Ernie with the uncluttered mind. Ernie had Albert Einstein stuff going around in there compared to Dustin.
Right.
He was a magical mathematician by comparison.
The Vikings open at home Sunday against Green Bay.
Against the Green Bay, it doesn't feel like it, doesn't it?
No, but the headline is how much money the Vikes are giving to social justice issues.
Okay. Well, they gave 5 a while back. Did they give another 5?
They're doing some more. It's all good stuff, but man, they're really involved in the politics of it all. It's all worthy causes.
Yeah. Well, they're way
Holy
behind
mackerel.
the poll ads. The poll
ads, 25
ads
million.
tossed in 25 early on.
You mean the cheap poll ads?
The cheap poll ads tossed in 25 early on. So, as far as the doesn't feel like Packer week, does it?
No, it doesn't.
You're not going to have, poor Murray's Friday night, Packer week, Saturday night, Packer week, jam-packed, eating big expensive steaks.
Butter knife.
Having every steakhouse downtown. Yeah, ain't going to work, man.
I wonder how Murray's hanging in there.
I don't know.
He's got no outdoor dining.
No, I drive by it once in a while, and I've stopped for takeout a couple of times.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Most of the downtown bars and restaurants are hanging on life support.
Lions Pub, I see some people there once in a while.
Do you?
Yeah, but boy, they're the Butcher and the Boar. That surprised me.
They're done.
That
Yep.
place was the place. 5 when it first opened, man.
Yep.
And how about Surly?
Yeah.
Yep.
They said their beer hall 82% down.
Their revenue was down
Yeah. Wow.
82%.
You just have to sell those $13 beers someplace else.
I think a big part of it too was that some have speculated that their part-time employees were going to organize a union, but that this was coming way before that decision was ever made.
This doesn't seem to be a good time to be union organizing if you're in the restaurant business.
You're very happy to be employed.
Not in that business, but anyhow. Yeah, it's now. Where did I read that? Is it the Surly Master Chef who was really good, or the Butcher and the Boar guys at the Lex now?
Yeah, he went.
The guy who did all the innovative
Rydell.
stuff at Butcher and the Boar is at the Lex. Have you been to the Lex lately?
Not lately. I wonder how they're hanging on.
So, Rook, do you think that would change the mayor's decision on the menu when he goes to the Lex, or is it just kind of goes to his go-tos?
I think he just. I think when the light goes on, the monkey hits the same button every time. The same button every time.
The problem with the Lex is the owners about 10 years ago, the new owners from Rick Webb, they just fixed everything that wasn't broken.
Right.
Everything that wasn't broken, they fixed. It didn't work out.
Yeah, now we got different owners now. Right?
They're local guys, and when the guy called his mom and told her that he bought the Lex, she cried. She's an old schooler. Mm-hmm. So he
how the short ribs. That's all I really care
just
about.
don't change those. And don't change the
You
salad.
got to have the short ribs, man.
I would go back and, well, not now. Jack's a pretty good chef, but I would have gone back and got on my hands and knees for that chef they got rid of.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been in there for a long time. They got a rooftop now, right?
Yeah.
Rooftop bar. Yep. Mm-hmm. I haven't been. I've been there, but I haven't been out while it's been open.
Now, check these dates out. On Feb 14, we had a wedding at the Lex, because the upstairs now is a beautiful hall where you can have a wedding. No one got sick. It was Feb 14. Now, you would think that the COVID had already been among us by Feb 14.
I would have thought one of you Soucheres would have been overserved and got sick.
No, not at all.
Well, according to Freddie Roofs, but this is back to town ball. I hate to do it, but he's the president of the Minnesota Baseball Association. They had 66 games. They took temperatures of all players, all stadium workers. Not all fans, but they took of everyone coming in and never had they put the thing on your head and they didn't have a positive.
Great.
So
And I asked, I forget, I won't name the person that I asked this question to, but I looked at one of the crowds. I attended a few games over the weekend, and I said, boy, what do we got? He looked at me and said, 249 people.
I don't think they cheated by much, though. They might
Yeah.
have. I don't know. They were supposedly they gave each team 125.
Well, all of those parks had nothing but space around it. I mean, you could really socially distance at those ball games.
How about Dokovic? Where do you stand on that one?
I'm just looking up that right now.
Goodbye. You can't. That's.
But I don't think he was aiming.
Oh
at her.
God, he wasn't. But you still, if you,
I know.
if you injure somebody in a fit of rage or
Tennis. We're talking U.S.
on
Open
tennis,
here.
that's tough bananas. See you
She
later,
caught it
buddy.
right in the Adams apple.
Yeah, that's bad luck, but it'll probably be a good lesson for him. But it's unfortunate. Do we know we have a winner yet, or we're getting down there, right?
Well, that thing takes a month, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Pablo Carreño Busta was his opponent. How well do you think he'll do? What if he goes on to win the entire thing?
Pablo would be. Thank you. How many U.S. Open tennises did you cover, sir?
Never covered. Oh,
you did too. You covered one. Yeah.
One when it was still in Queens
I covered.
at Forest Hills.
Holy cow! You
Yeah.
lucky devil. I covered one out at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, the big one. So,
Yeah.
But I covered the year that Monica was coming back after being stabbed and played Steffi in the finals. But did you feel, as a kind of inexperienced tennis writers, that covering tennis, that this is the most snobby collection of sports writers in the history? Boy, I never had a group look down their nose at me more than the tennis
are you
writers.
doing here?
Tennis writer. What are you
I
violating?
felt out of place.
Yes. Well, they want you to feel out of place.
Yeah.
The only guys worse were the Olympic track guys,
Yeah.
that had their own stopwatches and had the hats and stuff. And you were sitting there as just some sports writer from Minneapolis or St. Paul and wanting to know. Don't even ask me any track questions because I remember, Prefontaine's racing Eugene.
Well, how about the figure skating writers? They got to be tops for that, don't they?
I
never hung around with figure skating
I knew
writers.
some of those guys though. They were pretty good.
But
They were
wait
nice
a
guys.
minute. You've always talked about how was it the World Cup you covered, and were you purposely trying to agitate those?
No. Those were Europeans. Those were not. Those were.
That doesn't count.
Those were the European was the guy screaming at us 6 Yankee sports columnists who didn't know what the penalty or what that rectangle was.
What's that box
What's
doing?
that box? All 6 of us saying, what do they call that thing there? And this Italian guy behind us, we got better seats than him, and his whole life is soccer, and he just started screaming at us in broken English. You don't even know what you're watching. Why are you here? You know nothing about soccer. I'm giving him the shrug, like,
I agree with
that's
that.
pretty much.
I do know that you call it football.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
and I
you there.
said, so you know what the name of that thing is?
How do you spell it?
I'm not going to tell you.
You're going to have to look it up.
That's right. Well,
I wonder what the Formula One writers are like. I bet that's a pretty slick
I bet
crowd.
they're pretty pompous too. Yeah, that's. Are we racing or not? Are they? We're having
so.
Formula Ones, right?
I think so.
I don't think Red's having his in Texas this year, though. I think they pulled the plug on that one. Red's 92. I wonder how Red's doing.
Give him a call.
I had him on the radio. What, Reavers? 5-6 years ago, we had him on.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, because we had recorded him because we got him to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Not the most recent one, however.
No.
So we will have a memorial service for Michael Racey on Friday, and I ran into some of his pals at that baseball game on Saturday, and And because the memorial service is limited, I believe there's going to probably have to be a gathering at a local saloon one of these next weeks for these stories to be told. And these were younger guys who knew him from uptown, and they said they started talking about him, and 2 hours later they all went home overserved because they were telling various stories. So anyway.
What time is the service?
It's I think 10 to 12. It's going to be a military. There's going to be an honor guard there.
Nice.
Of course, he's a vet, and I can say that in his tenure in San Antonio, there was never a communist infiltrator in the bowling alley that he ran down there. he kept all the commie threat out of the bowling alley.
He's got to start somewhere.
I think that was his main task, running the bowling alley down there and it was good.
Just keep an eye open, okay?
Yeah, right.
Keep your eyes open.
I'm not sure what field he really he was. He was the old man forced his volunteering when he repeated flunk. He flunked out of St. Thomas and he flunked out of the U, I think, and then they said, but unfortunately, gin rummy and other activities were not on the curriculum at those places. So
What are they limiting the service to? How many people?
I think just 50 or something. So. You're not invited,
Got it.
but thanks for your concern.
You're guilt-free.
Thanks
Guilt-free.
for your concern.
I just wanted to be guilt-free.
Yes, that's true. You're guilt-free. You got to pass on it.
Thanks for not
What do you
inviting
got
me to your wedding.
Dispensation.
Yes,
Dispensation
you do.
from
You do.
Father Patrick.
I think we're just going to have the priest. They're just going to have the priest come over and say a couple of words. So not the funeral mass. So
That's the greatest gift you can get from somebody is not getting invited to their wedding. That's the greatest.
Yes, and being able to pass on the funeral isn't a bad one either. So
No, but these, to me, almost as troubling as the gender reveal are these save the date things. What the hell do you want me to do? Block off June 11th in the year 2022? I'm not going to do it.
What are you doing?
We
you don't even know what you're
we
doing
got
yet.
one the other day, and it's a magnet that you can put on your fridge with the
Oh, you
happy
don't want to
couple.
see it all the time.
I'm reminded of it every day, huh?
yeah, we have gotten to the point that all the nieces and nephews have gotten married, and our close friends' kids have gotten married. I think we haven't had one for about 2 years.
You're empty nesters.
That's good. That's good. Yes. So.
Are you going to the Vikings game Sunday?
No, hell.
You don't have to, do you?
I'm not going to the game. I don't go when you can actually talk to people. But B, I haven't figured out this Zoom thing yet, Joe.
Yeah, I don't either.
All the interviews are Zoom, and I can listen in to Zoom, but I haven't figured out how to ask questions. But then again, I don't want to ask questions because there's 50 people on there getting the answers. So
Let's wrap it up here.
So it just doesn't work for me.
No, I don't like it either. I've been the subject of 2 Zoom situations, but I don't know how in the hell it even happened.
In fact, I have the audio of Pat on that Zoom call.
Yeah.
Is it the number of amateur ophthalmologists in the city?
That was
Zim.
Yeah.
Was the,
I think I could spell it, but I couldn't say it. I might not be able to spell it either. I did send out Jim. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. Jim sent a picture of that Twins plaque
yep.
from when I was the chairman of the Baseball Writers in '75. You must have been the next year, probably.
Yeah, I think I was.
And you have the long hair for that one, right?
I think I did.
Yeah.
He looked like he just stepped
Well,
out
I
of
had
his...
the most. Somebody sent out a picture of Dan Hayes from The Athletic, compared it to John Candy photo from Uncle Buck. But Jim, who sent me the thing, considers Del Griffith to be the greatest character in the history of moviedom. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The John Candy character in there.
Didn't he sell shower rings? Is that
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
sold?
he was a shower ring salesman. It was
he was
it was
so
pretty
funny.
good. Those are not pillows.
Where's that? Between 2 pillows? Those aren't pillows. Steve Martin was great in that too. That was just...
And didn't he claim to be the number 3 shower ring salesman in his region? Isn't that his claim to fame?
I think I'm number 3.
They worked hard for corny humor back then, man.
Oh, he
It
was so funny.
Yeah. God, he didn't make 30, did he?
Joe, what was your favorite scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
I did watch that.
Okay.
movie. I don't remember. what
Which
my
is the one
favorite
that
scene.
Rookie's forbidden from bringing up? Which John Candy?
Uncle Buck or Space
Trading Places.
Baseball,
You
Trading
know,
Places.
I got a Twitter response from Lindsay Whalen saying that this Twitter exchange caused her to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles
really?
last night. So that generation thinks that movie is the greatest ever.
There are better. There's some that are
That's
better.
the Blazing Saddles of your generation. you know.
Right.
So.
Oh, that's way short of Blazing Saddles.
Oh, yes, it is.
Blazing Saddles.
We now
are
get
classic.
lazy. We now get a warning with Blazing Saddles.
yes.
Oh,
though,
yeah,
that
yeah.
There might be something in here is socially unacceptable. No. There might be everything in here that is socially
Start to
unacceptable.
finish,
Yeah,
it did
socially
not practice
unacceptable.
racial equality.
And but it did carry a message that old people in the West could be a little, with the old lady, what was the old lady with the pie? That's still maybe my favorite scene. All righty, what the heck?
You're gonna
Let's-
cause me to go
All right.
watch
You know,
it.
it's a holiday week. It's Labor Day. Well, you don't have
Yeah.
to labor that hard at this
No,
one.
no.
Yeah, don't burn anything down if you're going to tell your friends what the name of the
just
if the
say-
baby's going to be a boy or a girl.
It's a girl. It's
Yeah.
7,000 acres. Now listen. 7,000 acres in the state the size of California. That's not even Gull Lake. So
Okay.
put that into context. That's not the point. The point is they still destroyed 7,000 acres.
Yes, they did, and that once again more people evacuating. We had to
Right.
evacuate a number of people. That here comes another evacuation because of gender reveal. Yes, the third highest cause of wildfires in the West. Gender reveal parties now.
Who would have thunk it?
And imagine being the guy that has to call into work saying or telling your boss you can't make it because I broke my ankle trying to kick a football.
Right. I broke my ankle.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, we
Ross.
can talk to you. We'll talk
Ross.
to you.
Ross.
Yeah.
Okay, Ross. Okay.
What do you got over there, Patrick?
I got Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, one of the great living Americans. If you have questions about your retirement savings, and don't we all, you want to work with a person that knows what the heck he's doing, and do what I did and work with a person that I know you can trust. This is Ricey. You need to see my guy Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk. You don't get the nickname Mr. Money Talk for free. You got to earn it. Especially, listen, what's going on with the markets today, you need Josh's straight talk. You don't need sugar-coated advice. Sit down with Josh for a no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation to review your investments, including your IRA and 401k. You can learn how you can benefit from Josh's focused approach. Call Josh now at 952-925-5608. Mr. Money Talk, 952-925-5608. That's a wrap. Woo!